It's time for Point of View with Shirley Polk. I'm talking today about coping with crisis. Coping with crisis, and this is from Psychology Today. Coping with crisis. And there are 5 steps in this article, and it's from Stephen Joseph, and some people say Stephen, but it's Stephen. So either way, he might pronounce it Stephen, he might pronounce it Stephen. Joseph, PhD, and it's Coping with Crisis, and it's an article in Psychology Today. So we're faced with a crisis in this time of our lives, but there are ways to cope with them, and there are things that we should do in order to be healthy, keep it together mentally, physically, and emotionally. Okay? Now, adversity is inevitable. We know that. Adversity is inevitable. Researchers have estimated that 75%, now this is a 2013 article, but it is good. It is good, okay? Now, 75% of all people experience some form of trauma in life. The loss or suffering of a loved one, the diagnosis of an illness, the pain of divorce or separation, the shock of an accident, assault, or disaster. Estimates suggest that around a fifth, 1/5 of all people are likely to experience a potentially traumatic event within the given year or within a given year. And so, when we experience psychological trauma, our body's go into shock and our minds are overwhelmed. Imagine a Christmas snow globe. Shake it and the snow flurries. Over time, it settles. Now, how long the now remains unsettled depends on how vigorously the globe was shaken in the first place. So it is with the trauma that shakes up our mental world. Okay? So it is with the trauma that shakes up our mental world. So if you have, or as we are experiencing, um, an event that's traumatic to you and you are overwhelmed and feelings, um, have the feelings, and you feel that it is also vital to take care of yourself in the present while the snow is yet to settle. So, let me, okay, if you recently experienced, if you are experiencing, and we are all experiencing a trauma right now, in one way or another, and then overall, the whole world is in a traumatic stage right now, okay? So, we're in one, and many people are overwhelmed with feelings. So it's vital, very vital, to take care of yourself in the present while the snow globe settles. Okay? So there are 5 things. Let me put that 5 things that are often helpful for people to manage their emotions and look after themselves when they are feeling overwhelmed. Okay? So, number one, check that you are physically safe. Check that you are physically safe. Okay? And I was thinking a while ago. It came to my mind, and we're all on this what they call, like, this lockdown. So many people are at home now, when normally they would not be at home, but yet you still have to keep your guard up. People are still doing those things that they were doing before this crisis came up, this world crisis came up. So you have to really be careful, watch as well as pray. Okay? So check that you are physically safe. Sometimes people feel so chaotic in the aftermath of adversity that they put themselves in danger by leaving appliances switched on, driving carelessly, crossing the road without looking, and so on. If this sounds like you, take time to think about what you can do to remove yourself from danger in whatever your situation may be, okay? Number two, check that you are getting medical, psychological, and legal help if you need it. These are common things, common sense, okay? Use common sense. Check that you are getting medical, psychological, and legal help if you need it. When people are vulnerable, they need others around them that can protect them and shelter them in some way. Trauma often leaves people with a long list of problems to sort out. Seeking help is not a sign of weakness. Seeking help is not a sign of weakness. If you need counseling, seek some help. Seek some help. It's not a sign of weakness. Okay, there are plenty of us counselors out here. Okay, now people need to be able to reach out when they are vulnerable or lack the resources or expertise to help themselves. Another thing I'm saying here, saying it again, common sense. Okay, number three, stay physically active. Stay physically active. The mind and body are intertwined. Your physical state affects your mental state. For that reason, it is important to stay active. You needn't go to the gym every day, okay? But you need to make sure that your body is active. You need to make sure that your body is active. I make sure that my body is active. I do my exercises physically and mentally. Reading, studying, and all that helps you emotionally and mentally. And then I do my physical exercises right on my own premises, okay? I have my routine, keeping myself active in every way. And you can walk instead of driving. You can walk around your yard or take a walk. They're telling us to keep a safe distance from each other. There's a way to do that. And many of us can just walk around our yard, okay? Or walk around the house. We're back and forth. Some people would be surprised at the number of steps we take just on a daily basis throughout our homes, okay? Now, you can take the stairs if you go out. Instead of taking the elevator, take the stairs, okay? Now, number four, make sure you keep pleasurable things in your life. Pleasurable, good, happy, good things in your life. And try to maintain routines as much as possible. As much as possible. So, though you may feel unmotivated, take time to do the things you used to enjoy, such as reading, gardening, listening to music, and eating with friends. And of course, now in this situation, this day right here that I'm recording this video is the 5th of April in the year 2020. So we know what's going on here. We're sheltering in place. We can go out and walk. We can go to the store on a need-to basis. We can do the things that are necessary, but keeping a safe distance. So when we say eating with friends, okay, you might have a way to do that to keep your distance. Like I was thinking, I have usually a weekly routine where I go with one of the sisters. We fellowship and we usually go out once a week to eat together. So we haven't done that in probably 3 weeks now, or maybe a little bit more. And so I was thinking, I was saying, well, she could get her food and I could get mine, and we could go sit at the park. She could sit on one side of the table on one end, and I could sit on one side of the table on the other end, and we can just have a fellowship like that. I thought about that. And then also another thing that I thought about is that we can still eat together because we can do a video chat, and while you're eating your breakfast or your lunch, we could both eat at the same time and chat at the same time. There's always a will and a way, okay? If you have the will, there is a way to do it, all right? So if you want to eat with your friends, do a video luncheon, a supper, or a dinner, or a lunch, or breakfast, or brunch, all right? With your friends. Do it on the video. Oh, isn't that nice? Yes. Okay, so make sure to keep pleasurable things in your life and try to maintain routines as much as possible. That's number 4. Now with number 5. Check that you are eating well and getting enough sleep. This is very important, okay? Good nutrition is important. Make sure you are getting fruit and vegetables, drink water, and avoid processed foods, all right? Now, avoid caffeine. Now, I drink my coffee, and I do drink the caffeinated coffee, okay? And it has not harmed me. That's me, okay? So, it's telling you this is Psychology Today, and he's saying avoid caffeine from the late afternoon onwards, and I usually do that unless I get a really an urge to have a cup of coffee, and I will do it, but it doesn't interfere with my sleep. Thank God. Okay. Now, ban the television and the computer from the bedroom. Okie dokie. If that's your thing, you do that. Okay. And switch the phone to silent. And I sometimes I used to just take the phone from one room to the other with me. One room, the cell phone to the other. And now I don't do that anymore. I'll return a call if I miss a call, and then my family knows how they can get in touch with me through my other phones too. So, got that covered. Switch off the lights in the bedroom, including the pilot lights. Okay. Now, a thing that I do when I go to bed, I just say, Alexa, play me some deep sleep music. Play me some classical music, whatever mood I'm in for music. I just want it to be instrumental music, and then that helps me to go to sleep. I can even tell Alexa, tell me a story. She'll even tell you a story, okay? But I like that I do my classical music or I do my deep sleep music at night, and I've been turning the television off. Sometimes I used to keep the television on all night long. I have done it for years and years, but I have started changing that nightly routine and just listening to some classical music or some deep sleep music and just going off to sleep after I pray. All right, all right. So, so these may seem obvious, but it is all too easy to let these 5 basics slip, and it really is. We can get into a routine where we don't keep up with our routine, and so we don't want to do that. Okay, and for family and friends of those who are in the midst of a crisis, these are ways that you can lend a helping hand. For example, extend an invitation to go for a walk. And you can go for a walk, okay? But you have to be careful and you have to go by the guidelines that the government has set up for us, all right? Now, or offer to meet for coffee or go to a show. So we're not doing the shows now, all right? But like I said, if you want to meet at the park, or if you want to meet at the park and sit in your own cars and talk back and forth to each other through the window, hey, that's a good thing too. See, my mind is just giving you all kinds of ideas, okay? Or you could cook dinner for that person. And we're being very careful about that also. All right. So suggest the name of someone who can help practically or offer yourself. And so I've seen where I think they've had to cut back some days on the luncheons for the elderly because of I think of the demand. I heard something on the news about that, but they want to make sure that they get everybody some food to them. And one of the representatives of one of the places that they prepare the food for the elderly, she was saying that they have to get everything right. Everything right, because if you miss one thing, that could be somebody going without food for that day. And I think that is such a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful program. We have it in Dallas. I think that was either Fort Worth. I think that I was watching that one day, not too long ago. They were talking about that. So these are the 5 steps. Number 5 is we check that you're eating well and getting enough sleep. Number 4, make sure you keep pleasurable things in your life and try to maintain routines as much as possible. Stay physically active is number 3. Number 2 is check that you are getting medical, psychological, and legal help if you need it. Number 1, check that you are physically safe. These are 5 things that are helpful to people and help you to manage in a crisis. All right? This is Point of View with Shirley Polk. I pray that the Lord will continually bless you and that you will have a willing mind to be blessed. I love you.